The first sign something was off wasn't the noise, it was the notification. I was halfway through a quiet evening sitting in my home office going over reports, when my phone buzzed with an alert tied to my property security system. Not unusual by itself, I had sensors on every exterior door, cameras covering every angle, and alerts set for anything out of the ordinary. What made this one different was the label. Unauthorized access attempt front gate. I glanced at the timestamp live, so I pulled up the camera feed, and there she was, standing at my front gate like she belonged there, mid-40s, clipboard in one hand, something metallic in the other. She looked irritated, more than irritated actually, the kind of frustration that comes from expecting something to work, and it doesn't. I zoomed in. Kia, not just any Kia, full ring of them. She stepped forward, leaned into the lock, and tried again. Nothing. Pulled it out, switched to another one, tried again. Still nothing. I sat back in my chair, watching this play out in real time, because I already knew what she thought she was doing. The HOA had been sending letters for weeks, claims about inspection rights, access privileges, and their latest favorite phrase, master key compliance. According to them, they were supposed to have universal access to all properties within their influence zone, which, again, wasn't a real thing, and definitely didn't include mine. But apparently no one told her that. She tried 3 more keys, each one with more force than the last. Nothing worked. Of course it didn't, because there is no such thing as an HOA master key that overrides private property. That's not how locks or laws work. She stepped back, visibly annoyed now, and looked around like the gate itself had personally offended her. Then she pulled out her phone. I leaned forward slightly, because now it was about to get interesting. She dialed, waited, then started talking. Even without audio I could read the body language. Sharp movements, frustrated tone, the kind of call someone makes when they're used to getting immediate results. So I switched systems, pulled up the incoming call logs, and sure enough, a 911 call was coming in. I couldn't help but smile slightly, because here's the part she didn't know. That night, I was working, not in uniform, not on patrol, but I was on shift. And calls like that, they get routed through people like me. I let it ring through the system like any other call, standard procedure. Then I picked it up. 911, what's your emergency? I said, keeping my voice even. Her voice came through immediately. Yes, I need an officer at my location, she said. I'm dealing with a non-compliant homeowner who is refusing lawful access. I leaned back in my chair, eyes still on the live camera feed. And what's the nature of the access? I asked. I'm with the HOA, she said quickly. We have authorization to inspect the property, but the gate is locked and the owner is refusing to cooperate. I nodded to myself. Of course, ma'am, I said calmly. Are you currently inside the property? No, she replied, frustration rising. That's the problem, and you're attempting to gain entry. Yes, she said. We have a master key, but it's not working. I almost laughed but kept my voice steady. And who provided this master key? I asked. The HOA board, she said. We were told it grants access to all properties in the area. There it was. Documented. Clear, I understand, I said. And has the property owner given you permission to enter? No, she snapped. That's why I'm calling you. I paused for a second, just long enough. Then I said, ma'am, I need you to step away from the gate. Silence. What? She asked. Step away from the gate, I repeated, and do not attempt further access. Her tone shifted instantly. Why? I'm authorized. No, I said, calm but firm. You're not. Another pause. Longer this time. How do you know that? She asked. I glanced at the screen, watching her stand there in front of my gate, completely unaware. Because, I said, I'm the property owner. Silence. Total. You could almost hear the moment it hit her. That's not possible, she said finally. I stood up from my chair, grabbing my jacket. Stay where you are, I said. Officers are on the way. Then I ended the call. The next few minutes were quiet. On the camera, she stepped back from the gate, looking around like the situation had just shifted out of her control, which it had. By the time I pulled up to the property, the patrol unit was already there. 2 officers standing near the gate. She was off to the side now, arms crossed, trying to hold on to whatever confidence she had left. I stepped out of my vehicle and walked up. One of the officers nodded. Evening.